What is good, everybody? So today is day 6 of my calisthenics training journey as a lifter. So something actually really funny happened. I recorded this whole video and it turns out that I didn't have the mic, like the adapter, plugged into my phone, so I got to do it all over again. But who cares? I gotta get the training anyways. But the first exercise that I want to do, this is all core exercises that you can do at home. You don't need any equipment, but I do have some bonus ones that you can do if you have a bar at home. But if you don't need to worry about that. But the first exercise that I do is hollow body holds. And for hollow body holds, what you want to focus on is like pressing this part of your back into the ground. So normally when you're on the ground, you see that there's a little bit of a gap. You see, like, I can fit my hands underneath my lower back. You want to get rid of that. You want to push your lower back into the ground, and once you do that, then your legs will lift up too, and your torso will also lift up. So even when you feel it lift up a little bit, try to push it right back into the ground, and you're just going to hold that for about like 30 seconds, and you can progressively overload into doing it for like 45 seconds to 1 minute. But this translates really well to calisthenics because you're training that core compression, and core compression is really, you really need it for a lot of different calisthenics exercises, such as L-sits and other things like planches too. It's all core compression. So just to show you it one more time, you're gonna be flat onto the ground, okay? And your hands wanna be like straight from your head. So imagine being like this, but you're just laid down on the ground, okay? So your hands are gonna be straight up and you're gonna push that lower back into the ground. And it's harder than it looks, really. So just really focus on squeezing your core while you do it. Just like that right there. But after you do that, the next exercise that you can do that really helps with calisthenics are seated leg raises. So there's different variations that you can do of this if just the regular seated leg raises like that are too hard for you. So the first thing that you can do is to do single leg variations just like that. So you're gonna go up very slowly, single leg, and you're gonna go back down. Okay, and just gonna alternate back and forth. All right, and then once you do that, then you can start to progress into doing both legs, but you want to keep your arms closer to your body, because the further away that you move your hands from your body, the harder it's gonna get. So if I were to put my hands right here, it's gonna be way harder because my core is already crunched and I'm gonna be crunching it even more. But when I'm over here, you see that I have a lot more room to lift up my legs. So once the single leg raises are enough for you, you can start to move on to putting your hands like around here, and you're just gonna do those double leg raises just like that. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you're just gonna keep on doing that. And then once that gets easy for you too, you're gonna move your hands further away from your body, just like this right here. And you're gonna do that same exact movement. So 1, 2, 3, 4, just like that. Okay, and for me, I really need to work on my core a lot, because even ever since I was running track, my core was always a weak point of my body, and I feel like calisthenics is really gonna put me in a good place to really strengthen up my core, which is gonna help out a lot other areas of my exercise life. Because even when we would do the core exercises for track, I was always the one cramping up first, and my coach was like, "Man, what you doing? Like, get up." And I'm just like, "Man, you don't understand. My core is super weak." And even though you can see like the lines or the definition on my abs, the strength doesn't really correlate to that. So I want to be able to have functional strength and also visibility in my abs. So these exercises are what I'm doing right now, and they're really helping me out with that. And plus, they're not only there to really help you get a strong core, but it correlates to other exercises in calisthenics too. All right, so I'm gonna take a little bit of a rest and stretch out my core before I go on to the next core exercises, because it's L sits, okay? And L sits are like the hardest variation of this. So for L sits, what you want to do is, first of all, let me face the camera like this so you can see. First of all, you want to put your hands like close to your body like this, and you see like my shoulders are compressed, because here's where all of your weight is going to be held, just like this, okay? I don't like to put my arms out wide because you're not really giving yourself much room or much like leverage to really lift up your body and also to lift up your legs, okay? But once you get your hands like this and your arms are locked out, okay, find that like medium ground where you're able to lift up your body and also your legs. So you're not going to be putting your hands back here and lifting up and try to do an L sit like that. And you're also not going to be putting your hands over here because you can't even push yourself up. Find that good medium ground like this over here. All right, and then what you're going to do is you're going to have like a little bit of a hinge in your hips, like you're thrusting your hips forward, okay? Because that's what's going to get your legs off of the ground and get them lifted from the ground. I'm going to take 1 minute break and then I'm going to be right back because I want to be able to do a good rep to show you guys. I don't want to do anything sloppy. So let me get that right now. Like, it's really hard for me to hold it, but also like pivoting your hips and like lifting them like this. Pivoting your hips like that while you're in the up position is going to help you bring your legs up, so like that same compression that you do with your core. Let me try to hit one right now. It'd be really good if I could hit one right now. Like only for 2 seconds right there. So you're here at the bar. What you want to do is bring your arms a little bit wider than shoulder width apart, and you can either grab the bar with a closed grip like that, or you can have like an open grip like this where your thumbs aren't locking in. But I like to do like an open grip where my thumbs aren't locking in because I have more control over my body that way. But yeah, a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. And what you're going to do is you're going to start to do crunches. So you're just going to tuck your knees into your chest, okay, and bring it up like that, okay? And make sure that you go all the way down on the down motion, okay? So you're gonna crunch all the way in and you're gonna go back down like that, okay? And another variation that you can do of this is to do them side by side. So like that, to get a little bit of oblique activation, okay? And once the knee tucks are already easy for you, then you can start to do the straight leg motion. So we're gonna do the straight leg motion is just like the L sits over there. If you can't really lift your legs up and you find that hard, something I found that helps me out is to just like hinge my hips back a little bit, okay? And this is gonna give you some more room to lift your legs up, because if you just go straight like this and you try to lift your legs up, that's gonna be hard. But it's way easier when you have your hips tucked back a little bit and you lift up like that. So this is how it looks on the bar. You see, right here. All right, I'm gonna tuck my hips back a little bit, and then from here, just lift up your legs too, okay? So just like this right here. Just like that. All right, and the next exercise is gonna be dragon flag right here. So for dragon flag, you're gonna hold on to something sturdy that you have, okay? Don't hold on to anything that's gonna be unstable, but you already know that. And dragon flag is a tough exercise, but what you're gonna do is you're gonna have your full upper back. That's the only thing that's gonna be touching the ground. Everything else, you're gonna lift it up. And the hard part is bringing it back down very slowly. So let me show it to you right here. So like this, okay? and you go down very slowly. Just like that. So you can just train the negative motion. If you want to train just the negative motion, you go like this. Okay? And if you want to train both, then you start off flat on the ground, okay? And then you go back down. Yeah. So that one is just about core stability right there, having full control over your body. So that one is the hardest one by far. So definitely give that a try, see how it feels. For one more core exercise that you can do is just like those hollow body holds, you're gonna be sitting down on the ground. And I think that these are called suitcases, but you're just gonna go in, then you go back down, okay? So just like this, okay? And what this is gonna help with is like when you're doing those L-sits and like you're transitioning into like a handstand, like those really cool movements that you see that people do, like a lot of movements have to do with tucking in and like compressing your body. So this really helps you with moving from straight legs into like a more compressed stance. So just like this right here, okay? And try to keep your hands and feet off the ground when you're doing it. Just like that. All right. And now, just to finish off the video, I always try to do one handstand, and I found something that really helps me out with doing a handstand is this one exercise that I found out. So what you're gonna do right here is, first of all, you wanna have a strong base, all right? Strong base. And instead of just like trying to kick up your legs like that, okay, you're gonna jump and you're gonna like push your feet back together, push your feet together, and instead of trying to move your legs up first, you're gonna move your hips. So think of it like this, just as a demonstration, okay? So instead of going like that, okay, you're gonna put your hips and you're gonna align your hips with your head, just like this right here. Just like that.